Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit is here back again with Ghoul on episode 10 of season 3. And in the last episode, we had Amon show up again as the badass rogue character that he's turned out to be. We had a sort of subset group of Oigiri tree, I believe, that kind of wore weird razor mask type things. We have Heisei and Kojima, who are kind of doing their own independent thing away from the kind of group thing that they established. You know, they keep doing things and then going to Hyrule. Yeah, Hyrule, like, afterwards to get permission as opposed to, like, doing it first thing. So they're clearly not on the same page, so we'll see where that goes. And the biggest thing is obviously Tsukiyama's trying to, you know, he's kind of got his mojo back and he's trying to get Heisei to become Kaneki again. So yeah, that is all. That's all we really need to talk about. We're just going to get into episode 10. So you know the score. This fucking show is horrible for copyright strikes, so there's going to be no reference footage, but it is going to be full length and timer based. So if you do have your own reference footage, you can watch the whole episode along with me. I'll count down from 3 to 1, say play. As soon as I say play, hit play, you can watch the full thing. I'm watching this on Crunchyroll, by the way, so there you go. Alright, here we go. Episode 10 in 3, 2, 1, play. Is Ria considered a pretty boy? What do they want with each other? Okay. Okay, that's a bit... Oh, damn. Fuck, look at that. Pointing out jealousy. Damn, selfish. So it's just trying to turn him against him, is that... What's the apple got to do with it? So she sees herself as a god? That's what it is? Okay. mean, he's still squad leader. Or yeah, come on. What is that? Ah, that's what it is. Okay. That's a good point. They're more grounded. Oh, a haircut. Okay. Oh dear. I'm not sure I like it. He is called Uwe. Alright, I got them the wrong way around. My bad. Oh, damn, look at that mask. Oh, yeah, I love that mask. I should have recognised the mask. Damn. Him on. Mm-hmm. Back here again now. Oh shit! You know, I know. Damn! Look how close his hair is to fucking. So has he decided to just give up on Kaneki then? Oh, come on. Fuck's sake. Eradication? So they understand that okay. Damn. Shit. Huh? Oh shit, they're getting them out of there, are they? Oh, managed to get out. Damn, he's got a whole fucking... Fuck, but this is... If this is a building that's under Tsukiyama control, isn't this where fucking Washu's gonna be heading? Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, episode 10. Yeah, I quite like that one. That was a really good episode. So at the beginning we had Eto, who had met with Kanae and is trying to turn Kanae against Tsukiyama for some reason. I don't really know the reason why she's wanting that to happen. I don't know, like, I mean, she was pointing out like the jealousy that he has of Kaneki, or how I say it. And then even going so far as to point out like selfishness, like not like Kanae not wanting Tsukiyama to get better because of that. It's like, I'm wondering what our game plan is, like, because he's now being groomed. You can see that at the end, like he's basically gone at this point. Like it's not like he's going to revert and not try to go through with it. But he's being groomed now to kill Tsukiyama and follow Eto, and I'm wondering like what is the sort of game plan behind that? Like, is it just to get rid of a rival ghoul family kind of thing? Is that all it is? You know what I mean? Because I never thought like there was any real tension between, like, you know, like Aigiri Tree and Tsukiyama and whatnot, you know? So I don't know. Eto as well, like, she was basically pointing herself out to be a god. Like, she was like, oh yeah, like, I don't see the person I see as a god as like as a child. Yeah, I don't know what a game plan is. It's I don't know if it's like, if she is, does she have something going on behind the scenes away from Aigiri Tree? Like, is this not to do with Aigiri Tree at all, but to build herself up and sort of, is she like making an overall plan so that she becomes the fucking the be all end all? Is that the kind of, is that the thing that she's, because at the minute she's not at the top of Aigiri Tree, is she? She's close to the top, but she's not like the person. So I'm wondering if she's putting measures in place so that she can make her move. I wonder. Yeah, fucking Shirazu's little sister. I didn't know it was a little sister. I thought it was a little brother. And that makes it more. For some reason, in the first time we saw her, like in the hospital bed with that stuff like attached to her face, I thought it was an older brother. But it's not. It's a little sister. Completely the opposite. It just makes it. It makes it like. Oh, it just makes it more horrible. So what is it? It's got to be like Ghoul related, right? Like I said before, like it looked similar to the stuff that Tsukiyama was like enveloped in at the end of like episode 7 or whatever it was. Yeah. Like weird, like organic matter stuff. And I'm wondering what that is. I think it's no coincidence that it come from one of our eyes. But I don't know how old she is, and I'm guessing they wouldn't implant a girl that small with a Kagane, right? Surely. So I don't know. Unless there's some, like... Is there, like, a ghoul related disease kind of thing? I don't know. But it explains everything that I need to know about Shirazu now then. It explains exactly the reasons why the Nutcracker's words hit him so hard, and the reason why that he does this for money. So yeah, it's no wonder. So yeah, we'll hopefully that gets resolved. And she ends up much better. I like the talk with Shirazu with who was the other guy? Was it Fuki? I think it was Fuki something. Anyway, he was saying that he thinks that investigators that worry about those that they hunt are actually better off mentally, which I think is a really good, you know, it's a really good quote. Just generally because I think, well, it makes sense. It's completely realistic. It's like those that, you know, like those that, for example, like are soldiers in war, but like never get over the fact that they are killing people. You know what I mean? It's like those people who are more grounded and sort of, you know, have that conscience. I think is more, you know, more mentally right with themselves, as opposed to those who have completely gone off the boat and are just kind of, they don't feel anything at all, whilst killing something, you know. So I thought that was a nice little scene. I also liked the talk with the final talk with Kaneki and Tsukiyama, where he was basically, where Tsukiyama says, "Are you sure, like, you're ready to hear this, even if it changes everything that you might think about what's going on?" And basically Heisei, you know, he says, "No, I'm not," because he doesn't. This is what I think. This is the most interesting that I've seen Heisei this season, because he's sort of on that. I find Heisei very bland, like very generic. Like there's nothing interesting about him really, at all. The only interesting thing about him is the fact that we know that he's Kaneki, and that's it. You know, but Heisei, like, if you were just to think of him as a character, there's nothing about him that really screams anything like all that interesting. And I think that makes sense because of the fact of how long he's been Heisei. He hasn't really had enough time as Heisei to make a persona that even, you know, he hasn't had enough experiences for him to be anything special, you know what I mean? Which is why every time Kaneki shows up, it's like unlimitedly more interesting. But I think that the interesting thing about that was the idea that I think that goes back to, this is the first time we've seen Heisei like relate to any way that he was before he became a ghoul in the first place, or like the first time that he became a half ghoul. Remember, like back in like the first few episodes where he was, where he had like a unsatiable hunger for like human meat, but he desperately was like clawing his face, like not wanting to go through with it and not doing it, because he would give anything to not be a ghoul and be human again. This completely relates to it when he was saying, you know what I mean, I like the fact that I'm human and I want to remain human. I don't want to be a ghoul. It just relates everything back to how he was feeling when he originally became a half ghoul, which I liked, that sort of like going back to that, because I feel like Kaneki has been away from that for so long. To kind of have him back to that, like reverted back to that stage, was kind of nice and a bit nostalgic. So I quite like that. But it also put into perspective, like, Sukiyama basically, I think he realized that, like, it's not all about Kaneki. So he turned and he wanted to do, you know, put in the effort to the people that, you know, the other people that he cares about. You know what I mean? With Heisei sort of being a, I'm not even sure if lost cause is the right term, because, I mean, literally this is as close as we have gotten from Heisei, like, wanting to know about Kaneki, right? Or, like, you know, having him be sort of on that road to Kaneki. He's as far along as he's ever has been. And even when he's demanding answers from Akira and stuff like that, like, you know, looking up Amon and things like that. I think that the weird thing is about Heisei is that he knows Kaneki's there. So what would make him revert back to being Kaneki again then? Because if he knows he's there, is it just a matter of, like, him, like, do we have to get to a point where Heisei is comfortable bringing him back? Almost like, if we go back to what I was saying before about how this is the first time I feel like Heisei or Kaneki reverted back to when he was first a half ghoul and didn't want to be a ghoul anymore. Are we almost doing the opposite this way? So this way we're going to have to get through the story to a point where Heisei actually has to, maybe wants to become Kaneki again. Like, he literally has to, like, step aside and basically say, all right, I don't want to be human, I want to be a ghoul. If that's the way that because that makes sense to me. So we'll see how that works. But yeah. So they were talking about, like, the eradication of the Sukiyama family. I guess they must have just got enough intel to know that Rose was being held, like, that was Sukiyama's thing. I don't know if I missed it or not, because Kojima killed that maid girl, right? Which, come on, man. Oh, this is, you see, this is the kind of thing that makes me fucking hate the CCG, is that shit. It brings me back to, like, season 1 and my hatred of Mado. Like, I just can't. I mean, come on, man. He even said innocent. Doesn't care. So I'm not sure if the maid girl actually went and, because obviously she went and did it herself, right, to try and get him back herself. Did she rat out Sukiyama to try and get Yuma back? Was that what happened? And that's how they figured out that Sukiyama was behind the Rose group. So I guess, because that would make sense as well. And if that's the case, well, that's where they got to. So the eradication of the Sukiyama group. Mirumo, the guy that was confirmed to be Sukiyama's father, I didn't know that, but it is, and that he basically gave his life so that, you know, so that Sukiyama could get away. And Sukiyama was in, like, the car, and he basically said, like, something along the lines of, like, not again, and then yeah. I could have sworn I saw fucking, when he said not again, and, like, it popped up, like, it had, like, 3 people. I'm sure fucking, what do you call them's there? I can't remember their names. Is it, like, Kuma or something? The bartenders that were in Antique that died in Rude. I can't remember their names. Damn. Damn. The Devil Ape and Black Dog, right? Yeah. I don't know where the names are, but yeah, those two, yeah. I'm positive one of them was definitely the Devil Ape guy. I'm fucking positive it is. But then again, that guy that showed up at the end in the Sukiyama building where Sukiyama was, there was a bloke that looked like the Devil Ape, like he looked exactly like him, but it isn't him. So I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Really good episode though. I like that one. Yeah, there was a lot of like. I felt like it's sort of. I don't know what the correct term would be. Like it sort of felt like it melded as an episode, like much more naturally than previous episodes, or that like maybe it felt like it was building up more as opposed to like, you know, whereas in the previous episodes like shit would just happen like in like constantly, you know, whereas this I felt like it allowed time to kind of settle a bit. Maybe that was it, but yeah, we'll see what happens next week. But that is all for Tokyo Ghoul this week, so thank you everyone for watching. In the description below I have links to certain things. One was the Discord. I urge everyone to go over there, especially if you want me to react to a certain show, because that's where polls and things start. And also if you just want to come out and talk to me at the community, you're free to do that as well. And also Patreon. So I do have a Patreon. If you do want to support me, you can do with the link down in the description there. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. There's early access, $5 a month. You get access to all the shows I do a week early. And for Psycho Pass and now the Fate series, it's taken over Code Geass. You get 4 episodes of those a week. So if you come for more reactions from me more frequently, that's what you want to get. $10 a month, that's the full length, so everything I react to gets a full length. $15, that's the exclusive tier, so that gives you access to a bonus show that you'll need to react to. A bonus show, which is Mob Psycho 100. Also, all OVA reactions and all movie reactions go into the exclusive tier as well. $50, every time you pay $50, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It'll go at the back of the list behind 7 shows, so it might take me a while to get round to it. But if you don't want to wait and you want to get to the very front of the queue, then you want to get God tier, which is $100, and that means that your show will be reacted to next. But that was awesome. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.